Hi again. Time for more movie pickups, you know the deal. I'm also going to talk about Toy Story 4, which I saw today, and to give some quick thoughts on that. But first, the movies. I'm starting with something really basic. Star Wars The Force Awakens. Kinda like it, don't love it, but it's an entertaining film. And for that price on Blu-ray, can't go wrong. Next we have, let's take the movie out of these that is probably the worst. Warcraft: The Beginning. And I know that many people actually like this movie and that others think it's bad. And I don't know anything at all about Warcraft, so I have no idea. Let's take Get Out. I don't really know what to think, but I've heard good things, and that probably means it could be good. We will see. Okay. Instead of just saying I don't know, I will take a movie that I actually know something about. Tony Erdmann. I've seen this movie, and while the start of the movie was pretty slow, I kinda realized after a while that that was part of the point. Because if it had been a comedy all throughout, it kinda would have lost its meaning. And I think it's a kind of beautiful movie, in ways. And if you are patient, I recommend checking this out. And this, by the way, is published in Sweden by Triart, and I love Triart because they publish like lesser known movies or foreign movies, like Your Name, Triart. And this is not an ad, but I genuinely think that it's great that there is a market for that kind of movies. And here we have another Triart movie, Louder Than Bombs. And I don't know what it is, but I kind of just thought the cover looked interesting. Saw lots of high scores and just checked IMDb and it had a high score, and I was like, okay, I will take it. Head or high water, I don't know what to expect, but I've heard good things, so that's something. Alf Nelson. I had never even heard about this movie when I saw it, but I was met with your classic film festival logos and high scores, and I also saw Ryan Gosling, and I was like, whoa, what's this? And I took it. Arrival? I don't know. 2 movies left. We can start with this one. I think this is one of those kinda weird artsy films, but I mean, that's kind of enjoyable at times, and weird can be good. Like one of the reviews on the backside, it really says retardedly beautiful, so yeah, that's probably great. Finally, I don't know what the English title is, but Låt den rätte komma in. And I was again met by all the scores, and I had heard about it before, but I didn't really know much about it. So I asked my dear friend, the professional movie critic Bob, and he said, very good movie, 10 out of 10, best Swedish movie. So I said, wow, okay. And then I read about backside, and I was like, wow, that's good and cool. What's it called? Yeah, that sounds very interesting actually. So that's one I'm feeling pretty hyped about checking out. Finally, Toy Story 4 thoughts. What can I say? First of all, I've kind of grown up with Toy Story like every other human being in existence. And first off, it's the worst Toy Story so far, and it's also the last one if they don't decide to do another one again. And I kind of hope they don't, because it's been 24 years since the first one, and I think it's probably time to just stop. Enough is enough. And, well, I can kind of see how people are triggered by this movie. The ending in particular will make people very triggered. It will destroy their childhoods. It will, yeah, I mean, the ending of Toy Story 3 is great, and they kind of undid it, and I can see how some people are going crazy, mad about that, because yeah, I mean, this movie is kind of unnecessary. It doesn't really need to exist. It does have interesting themes, but the thing is, the pacing is fucking whack, so when it actually goes into something interesting, sometimes it will just rush by it, and you're like, I wanted to know more about that. Why did they do that? And other times they spent more time than what was necessary on weird shit. And in some way it didn't really feel like Toy Story, because it felt more like Woody the movie, and yeah, I mean, not really a bad thing by default, but one of the things that I personally enjoyed with the Toy Story 1, 2, 3 was like the gang, especially in Toy Story 2 and 3. I thought the dynamic was very cool, and the Toy Story 1 just had this unique idea with Woody and Buzz and good stuff. And about that, Buzz is a bit of a retard in this movie. Kind of weird, because he was a retard in the first one, then he went normal in Toy Story 2, 3, and now he's a retard again, and I don't think that's fitting for his character. And I mean, there's things wrong with this movie. Yeah, it's something feels off about it, but on a technical level, the animation is stunningly beautiful. It's pretty much photorealistic, and just wow, I really appreciate good animation. And comparing this to the first Toy Story, we can really see how far we've gone, because it went from dog that looked like mud to photorealistic cat, and that's, yeah, it's cool. And the movie also introduces some new characters. First off, there's the stuffed animals from the Tivoli place, and I mean, they might have been good in English, but at least in the Swedish dub they were pretty annoying, and yeah, I didn't like them too much. Forky, I mean, Forky was pretty much the best thing about the movie, and he was mostly just in the first half of the movie, and he was fucking great, because his and Woody's dynamic together was really interesting, and that was one of the best parts of the movie. And I also think that while the Swedish dub wasn't very good, Robert Gustafsson did a great job as Forky. And about the Swedish dub, this one's kind of painful, because I mean, it was 24 years ago since the first Toy Story, and obviously not all of the people are going to be able to return, but I just noticed how character after character had new voice actors replaced, and like the Swedish Woody, it might just be nostalgia, but I genuinely think that the old Swedish Woody was amazing, because he just did everything right, and this new Woody kind of just feels a bit like, he's not bad, but he's not great. I mean, if I'd seen the movie in English, I probably would have liked it a lot more. And when we're talking about sound, the music was just wow, because it's the old Toy Story movie, and like shivers on arm because a classic, and I was like, whoa, I can't take this anymore. But I could take it, like I just couldn't take it emotionally because it was like flashback. Wow, I'm going to die, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, what to even say? The movie is not bad, but as a part of the Toy Story franchise, it's not necessary. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I have mixed thoughts, but overall I liked it. I did not dislike it, not at all, but there were things that were bugging me, and it could have been like slightly better done in some areas. But just as an animation and all that, it was a pretty good movie. Had fun scenes, it had good stuff, but I mean, it just cannot compare at all to the massive, classic, legendary legacy of the first three movies. So the movie is kind of damaged by that it cannot live up to the old movies, and it shouldn't have existed. But I'm not mad that it exists, like I can understand that some fans are. I just kinda feel indifferent about it, and that's about my opinions on Toy Story 4. And that's about it for this video, so goodbye.